What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video live stream today, we are going to be sharing exactly how to build a $50,000 per month wholesaling real estate business. Now, more specifically, I'm going to share with you today, step by step, how we were able to build up to $50,000 a month wholesaling real estate, and then eventually how we built up and scaled from there. But 50K a month, I'll be honest, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but it's pretty easy for us. And what we're going to do today is show you how you can easily do this in 2025 because it's, we hit that pretty dang quick. I mean, I think I was a teenager and we hit that, or like 20-ish, but almost a teenager when I did this. And I'm an old man now, as you know. I'm at the ripe age of 25, but wholesaling for 8 years, so that's like doggy years, right? So, I mean, it's, but like basically
yeah.
What this means is it's not only that I hit that like a long time ago, unfortunately, but I make people hit that basically on a daily basis. No one else on YouTube can say that. And so what I'm gonna do today is show you exactly the strategies we teach that get people to that point, not just us, but you guys to that point too. So we're gonna break down step by step today exactly how to build it up from there and really how anyone can start doing it now in 2025. Now, the first thing we got to talk about wholesaling real estate is, $50,000 a month. It's all about systems. That is the main part I think everyone should kind of get out of today is to get to 50K a month. It's all about the systems. Now, it's more about the thing, like the structure you have around you and then utilizing it and the tools than really the hard work. I have personally found you can't work your way into 50K a month just by yourself doing nothing or having no tools, going solo. And what I mean by this is you really can't do this the quote free way. And what I mean by this is most people try to get in there without spending a dime, get the 50 grand a month. And I mean, the only way you can hit that is if you did one wholesale deal a month and it was a $50,000 deal. Yeah. I mean, pretty simple. But for most people, it's going to be 2 or 3 deals a month. Maybe roughly 3 to 5 a month that I personally see. So how do we do this, right? Well, a lot of people will tell you, oh, Zach, 50 grand a month, it's all about the cash buyers. It's all about how good of an acquisitions guy you are. And I hate to tell you, you just have to win the market. Like the most important part is winning at the marketing point. If you are able to start marketing to motivated sellers the correct way, and you know how to get enough motivated sellers to actually want to sell the property to you, that is how you win. That is actually how you get the deals. That is how you actually have the success in this industry. The thing is, nobody wants to tell you that. Now, you can always pay your way to get marketing. I will tell you, most people, if you want to get to the point of getting 50 grand a month, the best way to pay your way, a lot of people will want you to spend, $9, $10, $12,000 a month to get there. It's not bad for a 50 grand a month business, but you could be hitting this way leaner. I mean, you could be hitting this sucker at 3,000, 4,000 a month, even 1,000 a month if you really want to go nuts. And so this is what we're going to talk about today, how you can really turn like $1,000 a month into 50 grand. That's the best way I can describe it. But obviously you have no money, you got to get started. You kind of have to get your teeth kicked in a little bit. And you go from there and just go from here all the way up here and making a ton of money. Now, on top of winning the marketing, I truly believe at this point, you should be able to perfect the acquisitions. Now, what I mean by perfecting the acquisitions is going out here and really not struggling talking to motivated sellers anymore. You should be at a point at 50 grand a month where you've closed 2, 3, 4 deals a month consistently before. And this is kind of a drop in the bucket, right? It kind of gets to the point you're so good at closing sellers, or you just basically know the basics, you can get there, because you don't have to be an expert to close sellers, right?
No, it's definitely not needed when you start. So as he says, if you win the marketing, that's the key. Because think about this: if you were going to go find gold and you can't figure out the map to find the gold, you don't have to worry about any of your processes or anything like trucks and cranes, because you're not going to find it. So we always teach you to win the marketing first, because if you can't find it, then you're stuck. Now, you can outsource and do stuff like that. And trust me, there's more people that will take your money than help you make money. And that's where a lot of wholesalers are getting taken advantage of. So just understand this one key point as we go through this. If you can understand how to do the marketing and wholesaling, you are going to pave an incredible path for the future. Skip this process and outsource it. You can get lucky, but eventually you're going to have problems. So once you master the marketing, the next logical step is going to be this, which is acquisitions. And you got to get in the reps, and you've got to get the opportunities. And then instead of trying to master knowing everything to say like we were taught in school, you're going to learn this as you go, because there's nothing better than the practical experience. And I promise you, you can make money while you learn it. You'll even screw up a few deals, but as you get better, you're going to learn how to negotiate, how to talk to people. And most importantly, you're not going to sell anyone. You're not going to convince them to sell your house. You have to solve their problem. If you can learn how to solve people's problems, learn to listen really good, and learn how to connect with people, this is a lot of fun. But remember, he or she that controls the marketing is going to win the most at the game. In fact, me and Zach give everybody the opportunity. If you find a lead, a probate, or anything like that, come to us. I'll be your 50-50 partner. I'll take care of everything. I'll try to involve you as much as you want to be. And so say it was a $20,000 deal. Just by finding it, I want you to understand this. I'm willing to pay you 10 grand. Yeah. So take the hint. Like, the marketing, in my opinion, is the most valuable part. And I thought the biggest anxiety people have is always about negotiating. It's just because you're not experienced doing it. So we give you the fundamentals at freewholesaling.com. But guys, don't forget the marketing. And then this next step Zach's talking about right here is this is when you perfect it. This is when you really start to make some money. But if you don't figure out the marketing piece, you don't even have to worry about this part, because you won't get there.
You got the acquisitions is so simple, right? Like it's not even like you got to just do this step-by-step thing. It's just know how to talk to the seller, build that rapport, get the offer out there. Now, there's certain steps you can do to get there, but fundamentally, if you want me to eliminate the entire way to close a seller, it's just talk to them, understand their issue, provide a solution to their problem, which is a cash offer. I mean, if I just want to eliminate all the, I'm so confused, like, just make an offer. I'd say make the offer the right way. It really depends on the type of seller, but simple. You find a bunch of people who want a cash offer on the property. Giving them a cash offer is the solution.
And keep in mind, guys,
if they don't want a cash offer, it's not a deal.
Yeah. And the way we structure making our offers and stuff, I don't care what anybody's opinion is on the internet or anything we do. It's based on experience. I know it works because I've been doing this 23 years. And if you follow our path at freewholesaling.com, we actually want you to be a success. I'm not charging you any fees, any course. I want you to be successful. I want you to get your own deals. I want you to partner with me and Zach. So we have to give you the best method possible.
Exactly. And then lastly, you just got to nurture the cash buyers. It's not even building a crazy lot buyer. It's nurturing it, right? Like, it's kind of growing it from the ground up. So that's pretty much it. Remember, guys, perfect the acquisitions, win the marketing, and nurture the cash buyer. Now, I have a question for everybody. Who here wants to make 50 grand a month wholesaling? I'm asked, so we're live right now, okay? So who here wants to make $50,000 a month wholesaling? Let me see. Let me make sure. We're live here, so we got to see. So who here wants $50,000 a month wholesaling? Really think about that in your side. What would 50 grand a month do for you? Like, I'm not the Mr. Manifest, but I'm like, okay, think about it. $50,000 a month in wholesaling real estate. What would that do for you? Who wants to do it? Okay, we're getting the me, yes, 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 yes. Okay, well, this is pretty simple. It's like saying, who wants a Lambo? I want a Lambo. Everyone wants a Lambo. Now let's all, since we all raised your hands, who wants to work 15 hours a day for the next year? You know, and that's the thing. So now we're getting excited. We're like, okay, I want 50 grand. Okay, now I got your attention. I got you where I want you. So how do we get to 50 grand a month? All right. What do I do, Zach? I want to get to 50 grand. Okay, ready? Focus on one way to get to one deal a month. That is step one.
Step one.
It's not going to be, I mean, I'll tell you this. We have a lot of people in freewholesaling.com where they join. It's absolutely for free, by the way, right? They go pull a probate list. They cold call them, get a deal, and they make $60,000 the first probate deal. We have a guy, Ben, he's on the X-Plane X Leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to me yesterday. He had a probate he was following up with. He says he's set to make $60,000 on one deal. And he thinks 2022, 23. And the funny part about that is just like, you could have done the same thing. You could make 60 grand a month. That's just one seller, one deal, right? Now, for most people, it's not going to be that much in the first month, but really think about this for a second. Everyone's excited to make 50 grand a month. There is a step to this process. We got to walk before you run. We're crawling right now, okay? Then we got to start walking, then we can start sprinting. But first thing we got to do is focus on one deal a month. That's it. So focus on one way to get a deal a month. Okay. Now, here's the main problem I see a lot of people have. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat. And what I mean by this is, okay, focus on one way to get a deal a month. I mean, how many ways do you think there is to get a wholesale deal, to get one deal a month? There's a ton, right? That's the problem.
It's endless.
So I think that's the main issue a lot of people have is like, well, what do I do? Guys, you want me to shake you and say, just do this? And it's like, okay, we can door knock, we can drive for dollars, we can reverse drive for dollars, we can just JV on Discord, right? We can do all these different things. It's like, well, Zach, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Bro, it's honestly up to you. Right? There's so many ways we could do this. There's so many. Now, it's hard trying to think of, which is the right way to kind of be going at this, right? Because there's so many different ones. I'll be honest with you. If you really want to focus hard on what you should be doing, I would say let's just stop and focus on 3 types of lists. Now, it's up to you what list you want to do. We can do a X Leads list. We could go out here and do a government list, a drawing for dollars list. I mean, if it was up to me, I would say you pull some AI list on X Leads. I would pull government list and then drive for dollars. That's me. But I think there should be 3 types of lists. I would consider, I would consider reverse drawing for dollars. I'd consider digital bandit signs, right? I consider those be lists. But I say just focus on 3. I know there's a problem is just too much. It's like when, Europeans go to Walmart, they're like, there's so many brands, I don't know which one to choose.
Well,
it's the problem of having too much selection sometimes too. So I know that too.
If you give someone too many options, it's so funny. Whenever you talk to people, like, what's your go-to list? I can ask 10 different experienced great wholesalers. You're getting 10 different answers. And what I found is here's the, it's what we call a bias. You ever bought something, paid a stupid amount of money, and you actually have to endorse it because you feel like an idiot if you admitted you spent $2,000 for something stupid? It's the same thing when it comes to lists. Sometimes we lean towards list because that's how you got your first deal. That's what gave you the most confidence. And honestly, it's like your pacifier. And it's okay because confidence in the beginning is key, that if you don't believe in it, you're not going to do it. Now, you have to be careful because all markets are different. So you do have to test things out. But let's be brutally honest. If you are horrified of cold calling, you never plan on doing it, it scares the crap out of you, and you don't want to change your ways, be brutally honest with yourself. It's probably not going to work out well if you're not willing to make that change. Not everyone's willing. That's how I was when I started. But some of you guys dude, I could talk to 1,000 people. Doesn't even bother me. So look where you're going to gravitate, and please don't take the easiest route because that's what most people do. They think this is going to be the easiest way to do it. Talk to people, find out what your market is and see what's going to stick. If it's reverse driving for dollars and driving for dollars, awesome. It's a great way to do it. I'm biased with probate. Why? Because I made a crap load of money doing it and I still do it today. They are still my number 1 deals today. But I've got 23 years in the space. I've been doing probates for a long time. I stick to it because I know it works. I know they're far and few between, but when I get them, I hit them out of the park. And so if it's cold calling, you like talking to people. But if you go, listen, I don't really understand cold calling, can you explain it to me? And you got the guts to do it, then do it. It's one of the best ways to do it. And a lot of people overlook this, guys. Think about this. If you control your marketing like it's your domain, and that's what we teach you how to do, when you say you do a bandit sign or you call someone, most people underwrite this. You have a direct connection with that seller. What if I do a PPC and they go on a landing page, or a PPL and they give me a lead? Nobody talks about like, if I've got 15 leads, half of them aren't even going to answer the phone because they're probably BS leads type of deal.
Yeah.
And remember, whenever you hand off from a landing page to a phone call, there's always a risk. So if you control your marketing, like the worst thing in the follow-ups, and you would agree with this, Zach, is chasing people down. It's a lot of times when you miss a call or you don't take that call direct, it can take you 2 to 3 weeks and 30 to 40 attempts just to connect with them. That could cost you 2 hours of time. So you controlling your marketing, guys, is so valuable, because even if you have an outsourced lead, there's no guarantee that that's the right phone number. They're going to answer you. And then you get that stranger danger thing. You're doing the exact same thing in cold calling. The only difference is you're in control of the list, you're in control of the outcome, and you're in control of the market you're going to do it. And nobody ever talks about that, because whenever I have to call someone back or miss a call, I know I'm in grave danger of losing the deal. Now, when I have them, I have their attention. I qualify and disqualify them. You are 100% in control. So don't underestimate your value of controlling your marketing, but pick one that you're strongly confident that you can do, and then have a game plan to stick it out, because you don't know the outcome of it. And be brutally honest with yourself. If you don't plan on making a cold call and your number one strategy is cold calling, we might have to rethink it. But I lean on probates. He leans heavily on cold calling, and I could pull 10 different people on this. Everybody has a different confidence level. Just make sure you're in charge of it. And then once you can control it, you can dictate the outcome of it.
Oh, yeah. I think one of the thing is just focus on the 3 lists. Now, I like to think of UFC, because it's like, well, what's your go-to knockout? Jab, jab, right hook. Like, I would say the majority of people's jab, jab, right hook is going to be probably drawing for dollars and probates. And we can add maybe, I think, cold calling a code violation list, right?
Is that your armbar?
No, like if you want to do a submission, the rear naked choke is going to be cold calling.
Well, that's always
like honestly,
that's always it.
That's the most. So there's different types of, like, you have like MMA submissions, but like the most common one's gonna be the rear naked choke. Just being honest. And so
which one's the crucifixion?
Oh, the crucifix would be arrest records. Honestly, I'd say the arrest record list.
That is the most brutal way to be taken down. That's a brutal one.
Okay,
like, off UFC.
Door knocking pre-foreclosures, honestly. But guys, if you just focus on that, like, that's all you need to do. And it's insane. I just think so many wholesalers really overestimate this, right? They think, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Guys, just focus on 3 lists. That is it. If you could just focus on those 3 lists, you will never struggle getting leads. You'll never struggle just really getting deals and making a ton of money, making a ton of money in this business. So all you have to do is just focus on those 3 lists. Now, here's the thing. Cold calling works. There is absolutely zero secret about this. Cold calling works. I think everybody knows this. You know this. Cold calling works. SMS text blasting works. Drawing for dollars works. These messages and these texts and these calls you make, they all work. The truth about this is you need to work. Here's the thing. The rear naked choke works, right? The jab, jab, right hooks, the uppercut works. You know, it all works. And guys, you just have to decide what you want to do with it.
Understand, when I started in wholesaling, I just put my pedal to the pavement for 7 years and I never looked up. And I can't really create a course for you other than give you the experience that I've had at freewholesaling.com. But like how many times I pull my head up and go, what the hell am I doing? Why do I do this? Yeah. And I constantly just had to remind myself, I truly want to get freedom on my time and financial freedom. But guys, this is not like do it 1 month and you're going to solve it. You're going to have to keep doing it over and over. And this is how life works. And as you learn your lessons in life and you graduate and you become more mature and you figure out how to do it, that's how we get to 50 grand. You guys that want it overnight, you're going to get some lucky hits here and there. It actually hurts you more than it helps you, because you know, they can say, go, listen, if you want to drive that sweet sports car, you got to go into the Ferrari showroom. You got to sit in it. You got to feel the leather, although they usually don't let you in. It's the same thing. Once you get a taste of that 50 grand, dude, you're never going to look back. And like, I remember I go, how can I do that every month? And remember, I just wanted 10 grand when I started. That's all I wanted. Go, just show me 10 grand. And the crazy thing is, careful what you ask for, because you're probably going to get it. And then we're going to keep moving the goalpost on you. But you have to go 7 years, guys. A lot of people don't understand this. I met with owners every day almost for 7 years. And people are like, how'd you get so successful? I go, it was a long ride. And honestly, I took longer than most people.
Yeah.
But once I learned it, I'm really good at it. But you got to understand, like, you have to commit to it. The question, all these techniques we do work. The question is, will you work? This is the big missing piece that nobody talks about in wholesaling. And you know what? It is survival of the fittest. I'm the first one to tell you. That's why I love the UFC and stuff like that. I love competitive stuff because that's what it takes to truly get ahead. If you want to be average, you can't do what you did before at your job, whatever company you had. If it failed, I've failed on a lot of stuff. This wholesaling was the perfect fit. The only difference is a lot of you guys are like, oh, I'm struggling the first 2 or 3 months. Good. Like that. I don't want you to struggle, but that struggle is how you actually learn wholesaling. And so many people want the easy button and they want to skip it. Number one, you need the truth. And number two, you're going to have to take very, very consistent action and you're going to have to learn discipline. We're going to start you off with some willpower, but willpower ain't going to last you 7 years. So get started. Seminars are infamous for pumping people up and get you excited. But the problem is you need to commit to doing the work. If you do that, everything we're talking about in this live stream is 100% achievable, period.
This is why I started out with, who wants to make 50 grand? Ah, yeah! And then say, well, you have to work hard. Oh,
what do I have to do?
The problem is, most of these pep talks are like, I make 50 grand, be a man. Oh, like, okay, I'm ready. Give me your credit card. That's how it always goes. And, my pain, my payment I'm asking you is not money. I never charge this information. It is, I'm going to give you all the info here. It's just do the work. And so here's the thing.
Doesn't Kendrick Lamar have a saying about 50 grand? Never mind.
Think about 50 Cent.
No.
Okay.
No. I've listened to too much of his songs working out lately.
Oh, Lord. He just learned about Kendrick Lamar from the Super Bowl.
No, I love it. I love it.
He's only playing GNX, by the way. And I told him
I'm working my way back.
I told him about Mad City. And he still has not listened to Mad City.
Okay.
I played Mad City last week, and you're like, what in the world is that opener? It was great. Okay, we'll talk about this later. But I'm getting prepared for the LA trip, We might have to go by comp.
I don't know what to expect going to California, by the way.
Okay, but basically what I'm trying to say here is so let me give the secret of how you actually make the money in wholesaling. I think everyone knows, especially getting that first deal. It's like, how do you make that money in wholesaling? Well, the first way to make money in wholesaling is by action. So many people, it's hilarious that they go up to me and say, how do I make money? I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting. It's not manifesting your way to success. You are never going to manifest your way. And I think this is where we got to kind of wake up to reality here. You make the money by doing the action and doing the work, right? This is why back in the old days, 4,000 years ago, how did the world work? Well, the world worked in a pretty easy way, right?
Yeah.
If you ever read like the Old Testament, the Bible, and even if you read like the Quran and I don't know the other books, like pretty much every ancient religious text always has verses about working hard. Because back in the day, if you didn't work on the farm, you and your children never ate. And then guess what happens when you don't eat?
Yep.
And so you had a pretty big incentive to work hard. Now we're in 2025. If you don't want to work hard, you can basically get by with, I'm not going to get into it, but like you basically skirt by life not working hard. And now people think that's the way to success. And you wonder why everyone's so miserable. The true happiness you're going to get in life is in the moments and by just feeling satisfied that you're working your butt off, right? That's how you do it. And what I'm telling everyone is we have such a soft society now. And I'm not saying this like in a complaining way, but like the average 19-year-old that gets in this business, they don't want to work hard. And because of that fact by nature, if you are just uncommon amongst common people, you will win. And what I mean by this is it's never been easier to win in wholesaling real estate. The bar has been set so low from the average person getting in this business that if you just be above that bar, you're going to win. The average person does not want to cold call 2 hours a day. That is literally the bar. 10 hours a week. That is the literal bar for cold calling that I have. And the average person cannot build up the mental strength to work a 9 to 5 job and then go from 5 to 7 p.m. to go cold call for 2 hours. They physically can't do it. I'm so tired. Oh, I just can't do it. Well, I hate to tell you, but like, is it against the laws of physics to cold call 2 hours after a 5 hour? You know, it is not against the laws of physics. Will you explode if that happens? No. Has another man or woman done that? Oh, there's people working 9 to 5 and then a 5 to 11 or a 5 to 2.
2 and 3 jobs.
Plenty of people I know that have done that. So you complaining that you have to cold call for 2 hours after work is really no skin off my back, because once I find an 8-year-old that's okay, an 18-year-old that's willing to do it, you're good to go. That's why I was running laps around everyone when I was a teenager, because I was in college. During my free time in college, boom, just cold call, right? And even when I was doing high school wrestling, I did all these things, and I was working basically a full-time job as a bag boy. Every waking hour I had, and it was a joke because school was during the day, and then at night I was doing the bag boy stuff, but the weekends were open, and I had hours open for me to do the cold calling and the bandit signs and all these things. The thing is, it's kind of a joke if you work 40 hours. And I know this sounds like I'm going to get clipped out for this. And I was like, oh my gosh, can you believe him? 40 hours is not all your waking hours. That's half the hours that you're awake, because you're awake 16 hours. It's another 8 hours in the day that you could be doing something. Think about that for a second. 8 hours sleep, 8 hours of work, 2 hours of eating, and maybe just on the toilet. And then you have 6 hours you can chase your dreams. And all I'm asking you is to take up 2 of those hours. And everybody in here, on average, is spending about 3 to 4 hours a day on their phones, on their screen time. So if you just eliminate the TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, whatever your vice is,
TikTok,
whatever your vice is, just to cold call, you're good to go, right? We're live on all the platforms here. And I got people watching me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And it's like, should I be telling my followers on TikTok to get off of TikTok, start cold calling? Yeah, you know, like honestly, I don't care if I lose followers, I lose subscribers from saying this, but it's important to watch my videos. But if you're going to watch my videos and not cold call, shame on you. Seriously.
It's like watching a movie.
We go live for like an hour and a half on here, and then I go out live an hour and a half on Tuesdays. That's 3 hours a week on cold calling. If you watch 3 hours of our live streams, but you won't cold call for 3 hours this week, shame on you. Get out, stop, get off the stream and start calling. Because you're going to come back here and say, yeah, I called, get a deal. And then you're going to ask me a question on the live stream about a real deal. And then boom, that's awesome. The thing about this is this business is all about the actions you take. It's not about your manifesting. It's not about how hard you think you're working or how hard you're trying. I love my one-on-ones because I love hearing people that try to pour their heart out and make me go, oh, so sorry. Guys, I'm a very empathetic person. I care about people's situations and problems. But the one thing I will never, ever, ever accept is that you can't get rich wholesaling. It's just not in your favor. It can't happen. That is the one thing I always refuse to accept for anybody in their life. And I have people every single week that go and tell me, Zach, I just can't get deals. It's impossible. I had somebody last week.
Thousands of people are getting deals every day across the country. And I was like, poor me, poor that. What was that video that came back in the day? The Secret, right? It's all about manifesting. Oh, yeah. Whole thing's BS, guys. You can manifest. Listen, I'm all about positive thoughts and talking to yourself correct. I'm not telling you to change that. You cannot manifest being successful in wholesaling. It's a complete scam. It's bull. You actually have to do the work. The average person, the average wholesaler, I'm just going to hit you with the truth. You guys keep saying it's saturated. Most give up in under 90 days. So I told you I did 7 years hard time. Imagine someone gives up in 30, 60, or 90 days. That's what you're competing with most of the time. And like, it's not supposed to be easy, especially in the first 90 days or 180 days. Because number one, you're new to it. You're trying to understand. You're trying to get lead flow from 0 to like hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. It takes time. Anything else you've ever done in your life, anything worthwhile, you got to put in the time. Most of the people you're competing with in wholesaling, they think it's going to be super easy and they think it's all going to be done for them. And if you go in with the right attitude, go, man, I'm just going to outwork everyone else. And you know what? Look at this. It's you and the other wholesalers on a treadmill. You got a choice. Either run or wait till you pass out on the treadmill. Are you willing to do that? Because I'm going to be honest, that's what it really takes. But like, as soon as you start to break a sweat and you get a little winded, you get off the treadmill. And this is the constant problem with wholesaling. There are tough times during it, but I'm telling you, the tough times in wholesaling is what really forges you and like makes your way. You go, man, I'm only going to focus on motivated sellers, people that are off market, direct to seller that need to sell. And then you stop breaking your rules, because most of you guys are running around talking to people that really don't even need to sell their house. They just want to. And you're never going to be able to solve their problem. I don't care how much sales training you get. I don't care how great of a negotiator or closer you are. If you're reaching out to the wrong people, it doesn't matter what you say. And that's what's exhausting most of you.
You know, I heard someone say something really, really, it kind of, you know, I've worked a lot of hours and I've never thought about something like this. Somebody said this. I don't know who it is. If someone can tell me whose this quote this is, but some guy said this on like an Instagram reel, and it changed my like perspective on things. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
You ready? It's like, you would get up at 7 a.m. to go work a job for somebody else.
Yeah.
But you won't wake up early for yourself. You'll wake up early for someone else, but not yourself.
Well, they're paying me, Zach.
Oh, you're paying. Guys, not everyone doesn't look at it like this. It drives me crazy. You are getting paid money, but what are you paying them? Time.
Yeah,
what is more valuable, time or money? Let's go phone up 95-year-old Warren Buffett and ask him, how much money is worth an extra 70 years on your life?
You know what we should have?
You know what's the answer?
What?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And
this is not a joke. As outside my loved ones and everything, how much money would I give up right now to have the same knowledge and body, but I could add an extra 10 years of my life right now? Everything.
Yeah.
I'd give up everything. I would give up this YouTube. I'd give up all my businesses and go back to 15 years old with all the knowledge I had now.
You know what we should do? We should have like a David Goggins wholesaling week where we just do extreme stuff and just run it. Like just have somebody with the VTO mask while you're cold calling, while you're running on a treadmill. And then you got to hit every list. You got to go get every government list. You got to door knock. You got to reverse driving for dollars. And then we come back and see who the winner of it is.
No, but one thing I could tell everyone though is just like, you'll get up for somebody else, but you won't get up for yourself. It's insane. It's utterly embarrassing. And the thing is, you got to start looking at it like that. And you don't have many, laps around the sun to just go out here and wait it out. Because if you are watching this and you are 18 years old, please know that it only gets harder to start wholesaling. You'll get engaged. You'll start having kids. You'll start having your kids growing older. And then your weekends are shot because you're going to little Timmy's basketball game. And it just gets harder and harder and harder to happen. And here's going to be the problem. You're going to be like Rick at 33 years old, exhausted.
Don't be Rick.
No, like you'll be 33 years old, exhausted about your life. And you have nowhere else to go except for just living this corporate rat race. It's just watching your kids grow old and eventually living to be 65 years old so you can just hang it up. That is not a life I don't think anyone should be living.
You guys, you have to fight, dude. I fell into it at 33. I did everything everybody ever recommended me, the college, the schooling, the career, the job. And like at the end of the day, nobody gave a crap about me. Nobody helped me out. And like, if I can just implore on you, like listen, if you're okay having a job, I'm not knocking you. Like I did it for 12 years. I'm not a hypocrite, but no. I'm just telling you, it did not even slightly fulfill me. 70% of Americans are miserable in who they work for. And listen, if you got to work a job and do wholesaling at the same time, just number one, stop complaining about it. Number two, make yourself accountable for the work you do. Because these long-winded stories, guys, just get rid of them. Nobody cares except your ego. I don't care about your ego. Your ego is self-centered. It always wants to be right and it wants attention. So if you'll just remove the ego part, you can learn anything you want in life. Put an ego there, you're done. You guys are competing with people that are just trying to start wholesaling. Don't be the guy or gal that tries. Be the person that just runs it over. Think about this. There's 100 treadmills lined up with wholesalers. If you take the attitude, either I'm winning this race or I'm going to die trying, and you're not going to die. It's just that's an analogy. But you have to take that attitude. And there's days that just suck. But like everything else in day, it's temporary. You get past it and you learn. Some of my greatest moments on wholesaling were some of my worst losses, meaning I just wasted 2 months with this guy and I broke my cardinal rule. Like I changed either title companies and let a buyer screw me. I let someone take over a lien that I negotiated down and he took it over to my assignment contract. Guys, dude, I've done the school of hard knocks, but that's how I learned. Really, do you think you can learn wholesaling sitting in a classroom all day long?
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I was a terrible student, but like I do something and I learn. And here's the thing is you've been taught your entire life, either you pass or you fail. Dude, passing is getting by and being average. Do you realize it? Just fitting in. So you have to fail to actually learn how life works. And in our entire school system, we're taught the other way. Or you take tests till you pass it. Listen, you're going to go out there and sometimes you're just going to screw up the offer. You're going to screw up your contract. You're going to screw up pulling up leads. And I promise you, once you waste some time, definitely when you waste some money, you are going to learn. We all learn differently. And if I had one way to teach everyone to make it perfectly, so we put the information organized in freewholesaling.com, but the biggest part and what Zach and I are trying to communicate to you is you guys are skipping, a lot of you are skipping the hard work. And by the way, when you go 3 months and you don't get a deal, just stop bitching about it. Like that's your biggest problem. That's par for the course. You got to keep working through. If I showed you my first 3 months, you guys would like, I wish I could have recorded it. It was some of the most painful things I ever said. And I remember going, I used to complain the most to he wasn't because he was super young. I used to go to my wife. She's like, was that the norm? I go, I don't know. And all I said is, I'm just going to keep going no matter what happens. And I've fired myself so many times I lost count. So put in the work. This is the biggest part. And how you know you're not doing the work, if you're constantly making an excuse or you have a long-winded story why it's not working, that is the actual root of your problem. And I promise you, I look at all other areas of life, you have the same problem going on. I was that guy. Once again, I'm not a hypocrite. I did this the hard way. If I can get one person to change, I don't care if you're 90 or you're 15. You have 100% control of your life. You can do whatever you want to do. I remember I was always fascinated as a teenager when people made a lot of money. And I was like, my God, how do you do it? So it was like such a mystery because I came from a world of no money. So I got obsessed with it. I just did it all wrong. And if we can implore on you guys, if you'll put in the work, 7 years, then complain to me. Don't do it in 7 days. I don't have a lot of empathy and sympathy for it. Even though I'm an empath, I'm just telling you, like, nobody put a silver spoon in my mouth. I definitely ended up putting in his mouth. I did everything I could to discourage this kid. Why? Yeah. Because I want to hit him hard up front. If you're going to quit in the beginning. Don't quit after 6 months. That's a waste of time. And some of you guys have already put in 6, 9 months. Some of you I've heard in a year or two. Great. Like just use it as fuel to finish the job. Yeah. Listen, when people start companies, like people have gone 10 years without ever making a dime. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. That's ridiculous. But a year or two is the sacrifice to really build a company and make a difference. You guys are addicted to the paychecks. You're addicted to getting your checks on Friday. Trust me, I know what that addiction's like. And he knows a little bit about it too, because he worked in the grocery stores and understanding I'll tell you this, it is harder to answer to yourself than a boss.
Oh yeah.
As much as we won't admit it, it is the truth because it's brutal. Go, man, I got to go do something I don't want to do today. And now here's the difference is I've learned over the years that I got a job to do and I got to do it. I don't care how I feel about it. It has to be done.
Oh yeah.
Now, if I have an emergency, I deal with it, but everybody has an emergency. Like you guys have an emergency every hour on the day. So make the change. I'm just telling you, man, 7 years, I bitched and moaned. So I'm not like one, but I didn't quit. So as long as you're not going to quit, you can do what you want. But like recognize if you're doing that pattern. And remember, you can't carry that over the wholesaling and have success because it didn't work in your previous job or career or schooling, why do you think it's going to work now?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of wholesalers, they try to go out here and, manifest success and all these crazy things when the best way is just by taking action. Simple as that.
And guys, there's no you don't get credit for who gets it first. So listen, if you were going to run a marathon, you're going to have to run 1 mile increments until you can stomach 2 miles. And then you're going to do 3 and do 4, and you just build it up. If you want to start running a marathon and you weren't in shape and you're terrible, you just got to start out and you got to start doing a walk and you got to do some sprints in between. And it's going to take, it's probably going to take you 6 months to maybe a year to build up the stamina to do that. Wholesaling's no different. I don't know why everybody, the problem is the marketing is everyone's been fooled like, oh, I get rich quick and do this. Listen, I believe wholesaling is the greatest opportunity to really become financially free and freedom of your time. I never said, now it's super simple in my opinion, but it ain't for everybody. I know there's people watching this live stream. You ain't going to make it because you don't bring the right work ethic to it and you don't commit to it. But you guys commit to your job. You give up all your time. You'll spend 8 hours, 10 hours away from your family. And then they call you on Saturday. Hey, can you come in and help me out? And you do everything and you cover your boss's butt. And what do you guys get at the end of the day for it? Nothing. So I'm just telling you, man, it's amazing to watch how hard people work for other people. But I think we just don't have the discipline to work for ourselves if we're truly honest. And we're so used to giving ourselves. So make it militant and set a schedule for yourself. I did an entire live stream and showed you how to set the daily work schedule. And I showed you the 2 things that you have to use to implement it and the things you're going to have to sacrifice. Start there, but do that. But if you don't govern yourself, you want me and Zach to do it? I don't do the David Goggins week. I don't know what to tell you. This is the problem in wholesaling that's not taught in any course. And if I can get it across to you, I want you to understand up front, you are going to have to set disciplines. Don't feel like cold calling that. I don't care. Your boss, just pretend call it your wife, your dad, your mom, your sister. If you don't make those cold calls, they're going to have a sit down with you and fire you.
There you go.
I don't know, man.
So how do you get started, right? Again, if you want to learn the basics of wholesaling, we have a free wholesale community course. It's called freewholesaling.com. 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 Now, how do we start getting some traction? How do we start getting some money here? Okay. Number 1, create an action plan. Create an action plan. More specifically, work on going out here and creating a plan of your attack. When you're in a fight, which wholesaling real estate is a fight, you can't go in the fight like, I'm just going to punch the guy. You have to be very methodical. You have to have your plans. You have to have everything in order for you to win. You have to be knowing what the traps are, what you can do or shouldn't do. You got to know how all this stuff works. The best way to do this is by creating an action plan, knowing a schedule, what you're going to do. Am I going to call? What list am I going to pull? What kind of type of marketing channels am I going to do? You got to know all this stuff. And one thing is I would attack with one channel. So calling, texting, whatever you want to do, right? And I would just go all in. And the reason I'm telling a lot of you guys to go all in here is because you guys just kind of go half in. You'll have to calling, have to texting, have to, there's a lot of half done stuff. We got to do a full all out sprint and all out attack for success here. And that's what I think a lot of people have to do. Now, that's how you get 1 deal a month. I mean, I think that's the easiest one. We talk about this a lot. It's pretty simple. Mm-hmm. The real cash here, the real success is going to be going out here and getting over a deal a month to get to this 50 grand a month, right? Now, to get to this point, we have to kind of create a team around the star player. That's the best analogy I can give to you. So if we know what's the star player here? Let's say cold calling the code violations is making us deals. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, now we have the star player. Now we have to create a team around cold calling code violations. So let's say I can only cold call 2 hours a day, so 10 hours a week of cold calling code violations. That is how I'm getting success. Well, how do I support my star player here? Okay, how do I have the Pippin for the Jordan, right? Well, there's a lot of things. I think after your first deal, for most people, you should add a dialer and a texting system, and a CRM would be great. I mean, XLeads has it all for $81 a month for the annual. I mean, I don't think you can beat that. So I would probably do that. I would add the dialer, I'd add a texting system, and that's how to do it after that first deal. Then from there, you kind of have a player on the team. And then on top of that too, because you have a dialer, you're able to do more calls now. I would probably add extra lists. I would add even more niche data, drawing for dollars, AI lists, whatever you want to do. I'd start adding that in more. And eventually, when you add more lists, niche, and a system for texting, dialing, you ultimately have the most important part of marketing, which is going to be hitting volume. Now, it's important to hit volume the right way at the right lists. That's the easiest thing to switch. It's the volume thing that's pretty tough for people to get to. But once you have a ton of volume getting in there, you're going to start doing way better. And if you can add volume on things that work, so this is the real secret sauce here, adding volume to things that already are working. That's how you really get more leads.
Yep.
Not adding volume on things that have not been proven to work for you. Adding volume on things that work. So if you found that texting a government list just does not work for you, adding more texting on that list will get you nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's doubling down on what doesn't work. So guys, listen, I do fishing analogies all the time. Like I'm catching fish in a spot and I have this weird inclination, like maybe we should go look for something else. And then you go, and someone always goes, "You sure? They're kind of biting right here." I go, "Yeah, but it could be a." And the thing is, you get like this shiny object syndrome, and then you go out for 6 hours and you can't find anything. You go, "Idiot! Why did you leave there?" And then we all come to the deduction after a ton of money and time. Let's go back to where we were catching them. And most of the time, when people struggle, I've watched people hit it out of the park in their first year. And then they go, "Man, 6 months, like I've been really struggling." I go, "What are you doing differently?" They're like, "Well, I tried this and I tried this. I go, "What worked when you started?" He goes, "Oh, I simply went door knocking. I did driving for dollars and I just did code violations or probates." I go, "Why don't you just go back there and double down on it?" And sometimes the answer is right in front of you, but like you need someone just to smack you up the head and just go, "Dude, dummy, go back and do what worked." And guys, you could spend money on a high price consultant that will tell you, but they're just going to point out the obvious to you. Sometimes we can't get out of our own way. And I've been so guilty of trying to do such cute marketing and stuff. That's why all I do is preach to you guys the fundamentals of wholesaling, because the shiny object system is just a quick way to get in your back pocket and distract you. You've got to learn the fundamentals. It doesn't mean you can't do more advanced strategies. You should be doing advanced strategies if you haven't done the bare minimum fundamentals. And a lot of you guys think you can skip that step. You can't. Control your marketing, perfect your acquisitions, find a way to scale so you can get the 50 grand. If you're doing 1 or 2 deals a month, we just got to find a way to double it. What are you good at? Let's double it down.
That's it. And then once you start adding more volume, then you get to 2 deals per month. Then really to go from extra more than 2, you're going to have to expand the channels and or the lists. So what I personally found is if you're doing a bunch of cold calling, go from cold calling and then add texts. Yeah. Go from cold calling to texts. Keep the cold calling, just add text from there. If you're making all your money doing texting, add the cold calling. Those are cousins, because if texting is working, calling that list is going to just give you more deals. If you are calling, doing a bunch of deals, texting that list is going to get you more deals.
Absolutely.
Now, again, I would use Ninja Mode for the texting. That's just me. It's a better system. If you're doing a lot of digital bandit signs, usually calling is going to be the best one. There's no like direct correlation. A good correlation, I'd say, if you're making a ton of money reverse drawing for dollars, that will throw in for cold calling. Now, again, what is reverse drawing for dollars? Again, those are when you put sticky notes on doors, something like, "Hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back." You slap them on pre-foreclosures. You slap them on ugly houses you're finding, right? That's the best cousin of it now. Now, really, we can end it right here, or we can't. It really depends. And we got some more to talk about here. But the thing is, $50,000 a month can just be done all solo. You don't need VAs or crazy stuff. Like you don't need any of this stuff, right? You could just have a calling system, and you're dropping a bunch of text out there. You're doing a bunch of triple line cold calling in Ninja Mode, and then you start adding JVs, digital bandit signs, and reverse drawing for dollars.
And guys,
you
don't need an office. Like that is the worst thing you can do. Listen, you go to your sellers. If you had an office, an occasional cash buyer come by, but they'll annoy you more than they'll help you. I'm just telling you, it's you all.
I agree.
You all got on the wholesaling, so you didn't have to sit in a cubicle and have to sit and report to office. And I've done it. it's just not my forte. I like lean staffs. I like high flexibility. I like to work virtual. And you sit in an office, me and him almost kill each other in here. And like sitting in the studio, because it's just, we're not meant to like be caged in here. And like, if you do it, yeah, your gross will go up, but like you're going to have to make an incredible investment in training and time. And then before you know it, 6 days a week, you're babysitting people and you go, how the hell did I get in this $50,000 lease and all this stuff? You're going to spend 50 grand on it. Spend it on yourself, spend it on your marketing. But I'm just telling you, an office as an independent operator is only going to take away from you. And you should not be sitting in an office. You should be working on your marketing or out meeting with sellers or calling them. I just don't, trust me. I've made the mistake of the office early. It is nothing more than an ego play.
Do it.
Like and then if you have the experience and you want to run a staff, 10, 15 people, that's fine. But listen, before you emulate someone, you might want to look at their bottom line and see how much they're actually doing on wholesaling. You're never going to get that because most of their money is going to be derived from training and coaching products, which I don't have a problem with it, but like, please don't be submissive and say, hey, this is my wholesale income. Listen, all real estate's local. There are some caps because if it was truly, you could scale it nationwide. Multi-billion-dollar corporations would dominate. They can't, they keep trying it over and over, and they're going to keep failing at it because what works in South Florida is completely different in Utah and California. And it takes local knowledge because real estate is laid into the land and you have different environments. You have different, state requirements. It's never going to be uniform. Some basics are on it, but it's different. Do I want a rental property in Florida versus California? Everybody knows you rather have one in Florida versus California. But Rick, what do I do about hurricanes? Do you understand these conversations go on every day? And if I could just click one button, we can get the data, actually stuff like that. But it will always take local market knowledge. Don't ever forget it, period. Yes. So I like to make a ton of money and have like just the most options in my life and time.
I agree. I mean, if you could just focus on the calling, texting, JVs, digital band signs, reverse showing dollars, that's all you need. The thing is, once you want to get even above that, right, I would say you'd start adding some other things. I would say you add more VAs and more dialers. Maybe an AI employee. We have those in Ninja mode on X Lead, so you can have kind of AI do the inbound for you. But you're just doing it at scale. And then after that, if you really want to get to 100K, I would say start expanding markets and just doing the same thing. And then it's kind of like a pizza chain, right? You just kind of divide and conquer here.
Like
right?
Virtual marketing was like a bad word when I started. Like we said, there's no way you can do it because it's highly localized. And I mean, I did Ohio back in the day, and it was like, it was horrifying. It was like, why is every property 20 or 30,000? I was in South Florida. Everything was 100, 150. And now I look back on it. It was just an evolution process. Data became more readily available. And now you can be a virtual wholesaler because you can get local data and aggregate it. You still got to figure out what the process is, what the buying points are, and what are the tendencies. Like Florida, we don't have basements. Like when people talk to me about basements, I get so confused. I'm like, I don't understand. How can it be underground? I don't understand it. And then everything is like hurricane code in Florida. And then when I leave here, everything's put together with like sticks and wood. And it's much cheaper to build.
That's why you don't do the virtual acquisitions.
It's just very different. And I remember
that's also an excuse. You know that. That's why, but you don't do much of the virtual acquisitions. You just you pretend you know it. And that's the best way I've always done it. And then you go and learn it, and then boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, and then you go through. That's why you have a much higher failure rate.
You don't know the basement, but guess what? Does that stop you from locking up for the lowest you possibly can?
No, but I was
but here's the thing. Then you go to the buyer and you let him deal with it.
Yeah, I didn't know there was such a thing as waterproofing a basement.
But here's the thing. Okay, Mr. Cash Buyer, then what price are you at? Because I'm at this price.
Yeah,
it's all about a price up and down. It's like me. If I'm looking to start trading cars, and I buy a car, sell a car, you have to buy the car at such a right price. Even if there was a transmission problem, you still make money.
Yeah,
that's what we do in wholesaling. I don't have to buy the car though. I just have an option on it, right? So the last part here, I think everyone should be doing, especially when you get to over a deal a month, is having a scary, good, and simple follow-up lead system. And what I mean by this is I really don't think anybody at 50 grand a month needs to have a complicated lead system, a complicated CRM. You just need to be able to know all the leads you have to follow up in the next week and the next month and know where your appointments are at. You do not need to do anything crazy. You should know who you got to follow up with, when to follow up with them, and handling all your leads. You need a CRM. And I just see so many wholesalers who are not following up, and it absolutely breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And they, what lead do I follow up with? When do I do? You've the money's in the follow up here. So I tell you, if you have no money, use Podio. The problem with Podio is it's a great free CRM, but I think once you get over 200 contacts, maybe it's 500, like leads in the system, you have to pay 15 and then 20 and then $30 a month.
Yeah, it gets progressive, and then they're going to limit a lot of features on it. Listen, Podio was like the cutting edge, like when we switched over from like basic databases, and it was really cool, but it was very customizable, it was new, and then all these people got into like, let me show you how to build it out. Give me $5,000, and it got wrecked. And the problem with Podio, it's very general for all businesses. And so what I like about what your options today is very customizable. That's why Go High Level, I don't think anything even comes close to it. Like you can build it out and just as your business grows. So I came from a society where I had to use a service and then we'd outgrow it. And then we had to figure out how to migrate all that data, and nobody wanted to do it. And the training was a nightmare. And we spent more money on training and we lost more leads. So you want to find a system that you can start out with on marketing and then finish up on having a robust follow-up system. And that's kind of what we came up with X Leads.
So X Leads has Ninja Mode, which is built on Go High Level. And you just got to pay, I think, $100 a month for a Go High Level system. And the cool part is you can get it absolutely for free if you have X Leads, which is pretty cool. But I'm telling you guys, X Leads Ninja Mode is the CRM we use because it's free with every X Leads account, even the basic plan. And I actually spent 2 hours yesterday on a Ninja Mode tutorial for the Flip With Their channel. It's actually it's the most anticipated X Leads video we have, but complete guide on follow-ups, automations, all these things, and really for a beginner to do, it's by far the best system out there. So I don't care if you use Podio for free or you have a paid version of X Leads Ninja Mode. You just need to have something to follow up with your leads.
Gotta have something.
And I have a weird inkling if you have over 500 leads in your Podio, you're probably doing a little better. You're probably making some money. So
you know how much money I spent on Podio in years customizing it and all this other stuff, and then somebody comes out with another system. We got to marry a database and have one that's going to grow with us, and then it can integrate AI and all your list pulling, and then. That's why I like X Leads, but I mean, that's a frustration of 20 plus years of, I got to use this app. And I don't know about you guys, like I have like the charges on the credit card, like twice a year, I have to sit down and go through them. I'm like, and then I go, God, I've been paying this company for 9 months. I don't even use it. I thought I canceled it. So
that's it. So I'll tell everyone right now, if you just want to start wholesaling, start with 1,000 contacts. That's all I'm asking you to do. 1,000 contacts. So just get in front of a contact is when you text someone, they reply back and they know your message that you're looking to sell properties.
Connect with.
Just do 1,000. I don't care if it's 2,000 calls, have them pick up. That's 1,000 contacts. Just focus on 1,000 contacts. That's all you got. 1,000 contacts. It's all you need. It's all you got to focus on. So people are, I want to get a deal. I want to get, no, stop. I want 1,000 contacts. That's all I need. Some of you guys just, I want a deal. You write on your chalkboard, I'm gonna get a deal this month. No, I'm gonna do 1,000 contacts this month. The man that says he's gonna get 1,000 contacts done this month is gonna beat the man that says he's gonna get a deal this month, because that one man has more of an actual step he wants to focus on than doing it. It's like saying, I want to get jacked. Say, I'm gonna work out an hour a day weightlifting for the next month straight. That guy. He's way more clear what you need to do to get jacked, and the guy says, I'm going to get jacked, right?
Well, the difference is wanting to get one deal is the result. That's what we want. Here's the problem is you got to if you don't take the action, you have zero chance of getting it. So as I always say, if you guys will talk about the actionable steps, if you're frustrated, and The problem is like, oh, I've gone 3 months. I don't have a deal. I haven't got the result. I'm like, hey, all I gotta do is like, I simplify it. Show me your actionable steps. Show me what you did today. Show me what you did yesterday, and show me what you did last week.
That's it.
And in 2 minutes, I already know what your future results are going to be. So you guys, you have to load up on the actionable steps, and they're not going to be perfect, and you're going to make mistakes. But I promise you, if you stop on the action, you get 0 results. Look at the result as like a goal-oriented thing. It's like a vision board, and then just get to work. The work is in the action. And listen, everybody wants the end result. This is why you have 7-minute abs, and it was 6-minute abs, then 5-minute abs. And people, everybody thought the secret to getting abs is exercise. It's not. It's about nutrition and eating right.
Yep.
You're going to do more damage than that than you're ever going to do in the gym. In fact, here's a statement, guys. What you eat is even more important than how you move. Like, because like you're leaking oil out of this side, and you're like running the machine if you just plug it up and do it right. But we can go on and on. Everything you want in life is going to take sacrifice. It's going to take work. If you don't take the actionable steps, don't worry about the result/goal. It ain't going to happen. And if you get frustrated, go back. I go, what are the action steps? What am I doing? What am I doing? So if I want to get physically strong and enter in like a strongman contest, I'm going to have to work my way through it. If I want to compete in a marathon, I'm going to have to earn it mile by mile. And then I'm going to have to do sprints in between, and I'm going to have to keep increasing my endurance and time. Those guys take sometimes a year or 2 to get it done. I don't know why this mythical thing that you just become rich overnight in wholesaling. I know why it's there, because people sell you on it. But if you'll put in the work, the opportunity is there. That's never been taken away. I'm just telling you, it's just as loud in 2025 as it is in 2003. You're going to have to put in the work. So look at your actionable steps. If you ever want to talk to me and Zach when we meet you, if we meet you in person, or we do a live and we're doing a mastermind with you, I'm always going to ask, tell me what you did today. What did you do yesterday? What did you do last week? And then the ones that know their numbers and recite it, I know they're very serious about their business. Less than 1 out of 10 people will even form a marketing action plan to be successful in wholesaling. Why? I know, because I ask people all the time. Why is that? Are you guys, remember, you all say it's saturated in wholesaling, but you're competing against average wholesalers. Just be the guy or the gal that gets on that treadmill and goes, listen, either I'm going to win this race or I'm going to die trying. That's the person I have the absolute most success. It's not the person with the most sales skills. I find them usually be the worst wholesalers, because they think, here's the problem. If you think you're an incredible salesperson, it means you know it all. And if you take the sales tactics you do, selling furniture, selling boats, selling real estate, or selling cars, it's not even going to slightly work in wholesaling. I promise you. So don't forget it. We got to do the work.
There we go. So guys, if you want to learn wholesaling real estate absolutely for free, I have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. It's also my free wholesale community. Contracts, tips, scripts. If you want to watch Rick talk to sellers live, which is not allowed on YouTube, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It is inside of freewholesaling.com, my free wholesale community. And that's how you hang out
It's
there.
allowed, but
Again,
they take it down.
Another announcement. I'm going live tomorrow on Friday night at 8 o'clock in the Discord only. And I go live every single Friday at 8 o'clock in the Discord. You got to go to zachdiscord.com and I'll be in there. Now, a couple other announcements, and we're going to answer some questions. I know this is kind of weird to say, but I want to tell everyone what happened on a couple days ago. Somebody, I don't know who, somebody reported X leads to Go High Level. I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently if you use a Go High Level system, you are only allowed to charge. You can only charge a there's a minimum price you have to charge somebody for a Go High Level system. And we were charging $49 a month for the annuals, and it was actually supposed to be $81 a month. And we just kept it at $49 because I didn't know.
We just kept our mouth shut.
And I'm not going to tell you any of the competitors on X Leads, but they filed multiple complaints every single day to the legal department of Go High Level to shut us down. And Go High Level's legal department said, hey, these people keep saying we need to shut you down. You actually have a lot of people on. We don't want to do that. but you need to change this. And we have for this week worked with the legal department on getting a resolution. And let's just say with legal departments and lawyers, I was actually allowed to see who reported us, which is
it's cute,
very cute. But
it's actually an honor.
You got to remember, phone numbers are included on the reports and emails, by the way, and you can trace emails. But I won't get into that. The thing about it is, so the annuals have gone from $49 a month to $81.
It's still a great deal.
So it's still the cheapest one. It's still $12 a month cheaper than our competitors, who still hate us. But it's kind of insane. So FYI, for everybody who has the X Leads basic annual plan, who paid the $49 a month, so the $597 for the year, you are grandfathered in for life on that price. We just
don't let it go, guys.
But if it goes, we can't let you have it anymore, and legally can't do that anymore. So that's just a big FYI. Last thing on there, we're making an announcement on X Leads on Monday, March 31st. All I can tell you is there's going to be a change on X Leads. Good change. Like there's our mini update's going to hit March 31st.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do April 1st, but that's April Fool's Day. So I'm going to just do it March 31st. And FYI, on March 31st at midnight, so at 12:01 a.m.
Say it, are you?
What?
You're going to say it?
I'm not going to say it now.
Okay.
At 12:01 a.m. though, there's going to be a change that the mini update's going to hit, and a couple things are going to hit, which are going to be awesome. We're going to make an announcement about it. But there's also going to be something that is going to upset people who are not going to get this thing grandfathered in. There's something we have on X Leads that is pretty good, and we can't guarantee to. So I'll tell everyone what it is. It is certain pricing on the Go High level that I was not legally allowed to do. And so I was not legally allowed to make the pricing so cheap on Go High level, apparently. That was another complaint we had. And so one of our resolutions with Go High level was we have until basically April 1st, but we're cutting it off the day before so I don't get in any trouble. I don't want to get it cut off. So if you sign up on March 30th or before, so today, tomorrow, and Sunday, you are grandfathered in on the Go High level pricing for the calling and texting. After that, there's going to be a slight increase, nothing terrible, but I will let everybody know in this video that when I get a complaint, I'm clipping this out right now and showing everybody. Okay, it is Thursday, March 27th, 2:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
I just gave everyone the disclosure. So if you sign up on X Leads March 31st and you cry to me that it's slightly more expensive to make calls and texts, it's because you were not grandfathered in, and boo-hoo-hoo. Go High level is forcing me to make some of these changes because apparently there's a bunch of policies I didn't know about. The legal resolution was by March 30th. I cut all those grandfathers in and out, and that's the best way to do it. So thanks a lot to the competitors for doing that. But because of that, we are going to make a mini update on March 31st. We're going to make it pretty fast. It's going to be really, really dang cool. But please, for the love of everything, do not cry to me that everything's slightly more expensive on the X Leads calling and texting if you have not been grandfathered in. So if you want to do, I promise you this, I'm not doing it to scare you. xleads.com. I wish I could tell everyone we were going to increase the price from 49 to 81, but today's the last day. But the lawyers were pretty clear. If I kept this up for another certain amount of time, I'd be shut off. So we had to make a decision. So just want to let everyone know why the price went from 49 to 81. Lawyers got involved.
Karens. But guys, listen, X Leads still, like, you guys go out there and figure it out. You get the Go High level included in your account. Most of you guys are paying $100 a month for that alone. You can do it at 81. You get the marketing list pull in there. You can pull up to 15,000. You get free skip tracing. It's unlimited 1 by 1. And then you guys have the ability to bring in all your government list. You can skip trace them. And don't get me started on dispositions and all the AI we're integrating it. I just don't think that you guys be the decision. You vote with your time and your money. If you need a software for your wholesaling and you're tired of going to every other one, to me, it's like a no-brainer. But it wasn't our decision to raise the price. It was that, or like we were going to have.
They're going to shut it all down.
Yeah. And so like we had to make a decision. So it wasn't us, but we're just going to put the extra money back into it, whatever we get, and we're just making a better product into it. So remember, we're the only ones that offer like real live support. We go every Saturday. We have an X Plans member that we meet with them on a weekly basis. And then remember, we have local people that we hire that answer phones. We do emails. We have more. I think we have more support than any other platform out there. But remember, X Leads is designed by wholesalers, owned by wholesalers, and it's totally wholesalers' input, which now gives you guys a say in what goes in. And remember, we're the only ones that ever took on the software pricing. And now we're kind of being attacked by some people that they want you to have higher prices. So guys, make a decision. We're going to keep this thing as low as we possibly can forever. But if you had the ability to sign up at $49 and you got that, awesome.
I said we're not
I'm extremely loyal to the people that help us out. But like, keep in mind,
I feel bad though. I said
it wasn't us. We're going to try to wait like a year or two before we did a slight increase.
I said we're not going to raise the prices this year, and legal notice came in. Said we're going to shut everything off or do it. So that's all I could say on that end. But guys, I gave everyone my disclosure. I'm not going to say it again because everyone's going to cry about it to me. But again, good news is if you do have an X Leads account, you're grandfathered in, and you are going to be able to get the cool little mini update coming. So we're probably launching for a November, the 1 year anniversary of X Leads for the version 3, which is going to be pretty epic. Mm-hmm. We're waiting for one feature I am waiting on, I'll be honest, is the AI outbound calling. I need to get some TCPA approval. I've actually seen some massive wholesaling YouTubers that actually own companies like this, and I'm actually trying to talk with their lawyers on it. But outbound AI cold calling, that's going to be in version 3 of X Leads. I've already promised you this. I'm waiting for that to drop officially, and that's probably when version 3 is going to drop. So it might drop in April, might drop in June, who knows? But once that happens, it's going to get nuts. So we're pretty excited. So let's answer some questions. But yeah, I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So
our hands were tied.
Just personally, $97. How do I upgrade to the pro? Email billing at X Leads. All right. How do you grow your beard so quick? So one, I was clean shaven. I went to a wedding on Saturday, and now I have a beard because I didn't shave. The reason why my beard grows so quick is every single time a wholesaling coach cries, my beard grows half an inch, and that's why it's growing like crazy. So every time someone, a wholesaling coach who sells a massive product cries, the beard grows.
Oh well.
But what would the best question to ask when cold calling? Are you looking to sell the property? That's definitely the best question to ask. It's the only one you need to. I mean, there's other ones, but yeah. Brianna, I made 10 grand in November. 50K sounds nice. Love to work.
That's awesome.
Love to see it. Anthony, I like this. I'll sacrifice the time now for the payout in the future. Facts.
That's it.
Here says, I love X Leads because I know the best. I have used the others. I just need one hands-on training. So Kyra, if you want hands-on training every single Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, me and or Rick, it's going to be me this time again. I go live every single Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and I do one-on-one training with everyone. I do training on X Leads. It's on the X Leads YouTube channel. So just go to X Leads on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search X Leads. I go live every Saturday morning on that channel. See, Aaron already knows what's going on. So he already knows what's happening.
I'm telling you guys, you're going to say,
don't cry about it. Don't cry.
And we'll lock you in on it. So the thing is, like, you know what the problem is? We don't do the big hype. Like, there's only 5 more spots left. You better get in quick. Limited availability. It's going to sell out fast. I'd say something else, but I'll get in trouble.
That's it. Elijah says, why didn't you just tell us? Elijah, let me explain how a defamation lawsuit works. Okay. If a person feels like they were defamed, not that they actually were, but if they feel like it, they will serve me with a lawsuit. They'll put a gag order on me. So remember that Phoenix, Arizona lawsuit I showed you?
Yeah.
The Attorney General?
Yeah.
They're trying to put a gag order on that guy to not transact in real estate outside of his personal residence. Do you know how insane that is?
Yeah.
And so gag orders is you cannot talk about wholesaling software until the lawsuits come back. No. On top of that too, then you get into something called a deposition. Can you explain how beautiful a deposition is?
It's a root canal without Novocaine.
And you have to sit down and answer questions for 8 hours about why did you say that statement. Unless you've ever had to deal with a defamation lawsuit, yeah, no, I'm good. I have nothing bad to say about anyone.
I can't control what people say. You guys can control what you do with your time and your money, and we're just giving you options. It's sad that people just think that it's if I don't have it, somebody else has it. Then go make your product better. I don't know what to tell you to do. Like, why don't you cut costs? Why don't you give them a coupon or something? Like, me and Zach don't play the coupon game. We don't give 50% off if you do this and that. We literally gave you like a 50% discount. It was insanity. I thought he lost his mind when he came up with the pricing. He goes, no, I have a strategy. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's help out as many people as we can.
It was an illegal strategy.
Well,
it's an illegal strategy, but hey, whatever.
It's not illegal. It's just a compliance rule issue. And then you get other people like that. Just step up your product. Stop worrying about, why are you upset that I'm charging a lower price? Like, you should be celebrating us. Like, we're trying to help out people that don't have a lot of money. And I want you guys to remember that. That's how we went into this. Now, some people are upset about the change. Unfortunately, my hands are tied. The value you get with X-Leads, you can't even name a product that comes even close to it. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. And we've just started. We're not even a year into it. It's going to be insanity.
It's nuts. But yeah, we had some, I had a bunch of people cry to me. They're like, oh, I wish I signed up. So I think I can do. I'm like, no, I don't want to get sued.
You could beg. My hands are tied. I can't risk the entire company to make one person happy.
There you go. Isaiah says, Zach, I have a property that's 180 grand on the tax appraiser site. Okay. 145K on Zillow, and they want 110. Can that be a deal? I need 15, 20. What kind of English is this?
You're going to get killed.
If it needs 20 grand in work, they want 110 and the Zillow's at 145.
You're gonna have to. It's tight, dude. Like, but you got to get, like, I don't know what the tax appraiser, what the discount rate is for your area. Sometimes the tax appraisal is dead on in certain areas, and some of them, like in my area, it's usually about 25 to 30% below market rate. So how they tax properties doesn't really give you a fair value of like what the deal is. So I would put it in the software like X-Leads or look at some other stuff. And, is that 15 to 20 real? I have no idea. Are you doing it locally? You're doing it virtually?
There we go. D-Way says probate's closing a $50,000 probate deal in Jensen Beach next month. Woo!
My backyard, man.
That's juicy.
So do you see Dwayne like complaining of, dude, Rick's dominating the probates in the Jensen Beach?
Dude, he beat us on that. I don't know what I'm gonna talk to someone
all the time, and like
oh my gosh.
So many of you guys look at other wholesalers as competitor. You should go, you know what? I gotta up my game, dude. Dwayne just beat me in my own backyard. Hats off to you. God bless you. But he's probably listened to a thing or two I said to go, man, Rick's making some serious money on probates. But what Dwayne won't tell you is it probably took him some time. He had to go through some shortcomings to get there, but he stuck it out. And that's what happens with probates. And probates, you just get 1 or 2 a year, it will blow your numbers up. And then you do all the other hard, you do the cold calling, you do the texting, you do the reverse driving for dollars, you do the driving for dollars, and you just keep working it. You go to your RIA meetings, you network, you do digital band signs, you do physical band signs. I could go all day. There's not enough time in the day to do all the marketing that me and Zach offer you. You got to just find it and just go in on 3 of them.
That's it.
Period.
50 grand. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Congrats. Man.
Isaac says, should you give an offer as soon as possible on the phone on your first call, or wait until the next day to give an offer? When I give offer right away, I've gotten properties under contract. So Isaac, 2 questions. If you're locally in person, I would schedule an appointment. That's just me. If this is virtual wholesaling, honestly, if it's virtual wholesaling, right up the do an offer over the phone.
Yeah, you got to lock it up because
I think if it's virtual wholesaling, then do it. When I say next day, usually I mean an appointment. That's usually what I mean.
Yeah.
And even if it's in person, try to do the appointment that day. Now, when I get off the phone with somebody, usually it's so I get some information on the property. But if you can shoot a contract and shoot an offer and they are ready to make a decision right now over the phone, go after it. I will say you just want to make sure you got all your stuff kind of together here. You'll be good to go.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, like, how do I submit my deal? Sellmypaper.com, guys.
Sellmypaper.com. A year and a half before my first deal.
See?
That's a great first deal.
It's like, that's it. But like, he got his teeth kicked in. It just, sometimes the fruit of your labors is so much more satisfying when you put in the work. And I've seen people, though, like, it's so weird how luck works sometimes in wholesaling. But every now and then you can get a deal in your first 2 weeks. And remember, we've had people make $75,000, $100,000. It's just opportunity. That's like saying in the market, like, if I had $5,000 drop on me and I decide to invest in the stock market, some of it's luck, guys. Like, first of all, how you choose it, and then is the market up or down, and did you hit it at the right opportunity? Did some major announcement come from, I don't know, some world politician where you go, oh my God, I just made 30% today. I go, like now you got to fight the market for the rest of the strategy. So when you guys start, some of you are going to hit out of the park, and some of you are just, it's going to be a fight. So looking at the stock market, if I'm putting in 5 or 10 grand in, don't focus on the day you start, because sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time and God's looking out for you. But
exactly. Congratulations, Dway. Love to know more about you, Dan. I don't know your name, but I mean, I guess it's Dway, but like more about you so people can JV. Nicole says, will we be able to get the basic plan for $49 a month before April 1st? No, that is already over.
Yeah.
Emily says it, but you will still get locked in for the calling and texting prices. They might increase up to 5 to 20%. I'm not going to tell you how much it's going to increase by, but it might go from 0.0087 to 0.0094. Who knows what it's going to be? I'm not going to say what it is, but it's not going to be more than 10, 15% probably. And it is all what the Go High Level legal team is doing as a resolution with me.
But we don't own Go High Level, guys. We just,
no.
But
you don't have to pay for it. You can technically just not, you put your card in, you won't be charged for it. So
yeah. And so if you don't do that, then it's no big deal.
That's it. Joe says, do you recommend texting probates? Yes. And then Juan says, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Facts.
So that's what I was trying to say. See, my ADHD stepped on me. Thank you.
So guys, if you want to go check out my live stream I'm having tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, please do me a favor. Go to ZachDiscord.com. Hang out in the Discord. Amazing live event. It's like a live, basically hangout session. It's pretty lit. All right, guys. If you got any value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn.